Good morning, everybody. Today is Saturday, July 10, 2021. My name is Karen Bodenschatz. I serve as Associate Pastor at First Lutheran Church in Onalaska, Wisconsin, and this is my morning musing. So tomorrow for worship, we'll be hearing again from Mark chapter 6, the next verses following last week's reading. So I think it's 14 through 26 is our reading for tomorrow. And this is the story of the beheading of John the Baptist. And Mark is the only one, I think, I'm not sure about John, but the only one that does a detailed explanation of how John dies. And if you remember, Herod, who enjoyed John, loved listening to him, put John in protective custody to keep people from hurting him, is asked by his daughter or stepdaughter, the relationships get a little fuzzy, to behead John. She's given carte blanche. She can ask for anything. She goes to her mother. Her mother says, I want the head of John the Baptist. Herod hears that, is sad about that, does not want to do it, but has said in front of all sorts of people that he would do whatever she asks. And so he has John beheaded, and John's head is on a platter and given to Herodias. This, of course, grieves John's disciples. It grieves Jesus, and the story continues. This is a really hard story in the Gospel of Matthew, especially a hard story to preach on. And so I've been reading a writer by the name of Debbie Thomas. She writes a blog called Journey with Jesus. I recommend it. I find her writing to create a lot of good thoughts in my brain and kind of take my brain in a different direction, especially with some of these difficult texts that we've just come across in these last few weeks. So she was wondering about this particular story and how do we preach on it and how do we understand it in the midst of the whole canon. And she says maybe Herod is an example for us. Not like the disciples are an example, or not like Jesus is an example, but maybe a cautionary tale for us. Because Herod likes John. He doesn't want to kill him, but also doesn't want to lose face. And so he kills John, but there's something about John that touches him, that kind of moves his soul. And that would be truth. John is someone who speaks truth to power. And I'm going to unpack that phrase a little bit tomorrow in the sermon. But so I began to think about truth, what it is. And you know, friends, I think truth is a hard thing right now. Especially with the dawn of phrases like fake news. And we use truth almost as a weapon against people instead of a guiding light. And our truth is whatever fits into our perceived values, right? Whatever holds those up, we're like, oh, that's the truth because that's what I feel. And so that makes any kind of conversation around truth to be very difficult. So I'm on my patio and there's a chipmunk that is now, this is why I'm distracted, was teasing Leo. Just wanted to make sure Leo didn't catch it. So back to the truth. Nothing like a cat and a chipmunk squirrel thing to bring out about the truth of nature. So I've been pondering the nature of truth and the difficulty that we have right now when we can't even agree on what is true, which then brought me right back to the same conversation I've been having with the Holy Spirit for about 3 months, maybe more, about welcome and my deepening understanding of what welcome looks like. Because most places that we're welcome to are places, or most places we feel welcome in, are those places where we hear things that prop our own selves up. And that may challenge us, but not too much. I mean, I speak for myself as well. When I get into a space where I feel like what's being said doesn't jive with my own values and my own sense of being in the world, it's not a place I necessarily feel very welcome in. And I would typically not be in those spaces at all. But I wonder, for the sake of the gospel of Jesus Christ, for the sake of our command to love one another, to love our neighbor before ourselves, to seek our neighbor's best life, in the trust that our neighbor would seek our best life now, that we, this feels so controversial, that we put aside our sense of what is true, or at least our need to be right about what we believe is true, and open ourselves with a wide heart to only one truth, the one that binds us all, at least us in the Christian faith, and that is the truth of who Jesus Christ is. And I wonder if that wouldn't move us beyond this antagonistic relationship that we seem to have with people whose truth appears to be different than ours. Because my sense is that their truth actually isn't different. They just come at it from a different way. And that is something we can talk about and perhaps see that we agree on a lot of different things, and that perhaps there's more than one way to go about something. Maybe, I don't know. But if we don't try, then we won't know. So that's what has been rolling around in my head today, especially as I was doing some sermon tweaking and this past week and these past months. What does it mean to be welcoming, and what does that mean then for this truth that we so strongly hold on to? And when are we willing to hold more strongly to the truth of Jesus Christ, so that we move from being a spectator of Jesus to a follower of Jesus? So I'll be talking about this a little bit more in the sermon tomorrow. I encourage you to come to church 8 and 10 o'clock as of whatever time it is, 7 a.m. on Saturday. We are having the 10 o'clock outdoors. That may change if we converse and the weather looks like it might rain. Right now it doesn't. But then we'll certainly let you know about that. So 8 and 10 o'clock worship. I hope you join us. If not, you can join us online wherever you are. Until then, dear ones, have a great day. Be well, be kind. Christ is with you.